Here's the new drawing. This is a Porsche Cayman S, and I did quite a bit of work on it last night. I wanted to get it to the point that you could see something of what the sketch is. It's not a very accurate sketch, but I'm trying to do as much as I can with the ink on it, trying to make the lines smooth where I had jaggedy lines and stuff like that with pencil. So I'm just trying to make it look good, and I want to make all the effort I'm going to spend on it worthwhile. So that's what I have done. I did the whole base of the car here is one color, and that again is just because that's the darkest part of the car for right now. I'll darken it up more after I get a little farther along, but I wanted to have something to tell me where we are. The lights are pretty close to their normal value. They're going to be a little bit changed because the white here is going to go away a little bit, and I didn't do the darkness in here in the two grills or the middle grill because there are sidebars that go in there, and I want to make sure I get those done correctly and put them in the right place. But I'm going to have to check that against the pencil drawing that I did, which is not, like I say, very accurate. I needed to get some closer view of it, and the one that I had wasn't very sharp, so I'm trying to find some others. I took some pictures today of a real car, and that should help me be able to get a little closer to the final values of this. But it's going to be it is a pretty car. I just want to make sure that I do it justice because it is a very lovely car. And the guy's, a friend of mine has one, and his car is really nice looking. It's kind of a grayish color, and terracotta colored seats, and it's a very stunning car to look at. So I'm going to try and use his color scheme, I think, instead of the one that I had originally done from a picture that I found on the internet. And by doing that, it will be something that I can see better because it's my picture instead of some compressed JPEG on the internet. I shot a raw file for it, so it's a much bigger file, and it should show me a lot more definition and more detail. So I should be able to do a better job with it and make it more of an interesting looking car. His car's a little bit different. The wheels are different than this, so I'm going to use the wheels that I already started with instead of his, and then because his are much more complicated, they're kind of a spider web wheel, whereas this one is much easier to detail. So I'm going to stick with the wheels that I already sketched out with pencil. And from there, then I'll just go ahead and start inking the body and trying to be sure that I stay carefully grounded in this drawing and don't go too far out and don't screw anything up. I just want to make sure that it looks good when it gets done, because it would be a shame to spend all this time and have a drawing that you're not proud of. So I'm not going to let that happen. And here you see me just putting in the shadow underneath. This is really important. A lot of people draw a car and they won't have a shadow underneath it, but it always gives you a feeling in your head like, what is that car sitting on? And it just doesn't seem to be real when it's floating in space. So I always like to put something underneath the car, and that gives you an idea of the ground plane. And also it tells you what angle the car is relative to the sunlight, and relative to the viewer too. But that tells you a lot of things about the car. It answers questions that you can't get any other way. So the information that you leave out of one of these drawings can make it kind of less informative and less interesting too, because it doesn't answer the question that people's minds have, is like, what is this picture actually telling me? And with the ground plane on here, you know exactly what it is. Your mind is conditioned to see a shadow underneath the car. You know where the car is and what the orientation of it is when you see the shadow. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, I'll do some more work tonight, and then I will see you tomorrow, and I hope to see you then. Thank you.